Yo, what's good everyone? It is GlitchXCity here. Today I'll be giving you guys our NPA Season 9 Week 6 matchup against a good friend of mine from way back. I'm talking like Season 2, Season 3 way back of the NPA, which was like 2 years ago. But regardless of that, we're up against Russell, coach of the New York Blaze Kicks. And yeah, Russell, we kind of just invited him back to the league and he was like, yo, sure. So he's kind of rusty, he says, because he says he hasn't really kept up like as much as like, you know, normal Pokemon fans. So regardless of that, I'm not gonna underestimate him. Like, if you look at his team, it is terrifyingly scary, and just from the knowledge and like the experiences I had with Russell, like I remember I beat him with like a sub-focus punch, what is it, sub-focus punch, Scrafty, and then like he beat me one time. I'm pretty sure it's multiple times, but there's this one time he beat me, and it was like, there was like this Quagsire, and it was just really annoying, and I hope Russell's watching this, because I really hate that stupid thing. Really stupid blue blob piece of crap. And you know what's funny too is that it's in this matchup. Oh my god, that's so freaking awesome. But other than that, currently as of week 5, we are 4-1 plus 14, second place behind the Brighton Bronzors, which are undefeated, the only team that are undefeated. And right behind us is the KSI Dragons, who are also 4-1 but plus 11, 3 points below us a differential. And unfortunately, if you didn't see the last matchup, spoilers, the KSI Dragons were the first Magma was the first person to hand us our first 90-degree L, and unfortunately we just gotta move on and just like, you know what, it's fine. See, I mean, like, we're 4-1, that's 5, and then we got like 4 more matches to go because there's 9 battles, and assuming we win out from here, we can go 8-1. So I'm still happy with 8-1. Like, I'll take 8-1 for days, but that means we gotta beat Russell. So other than that, let's get right to this team builder. And I don't know, he's 5th place, so like only top 4 gonna play, so he's really not that far behind us. 3-2 plus 2, and just above him is the Amsterdam Ambipomps. So regardless of that, we're gonna get right into this team builder. As you can see why he's pretty up there. Like, he's barely missing out on playoffs, like prior to week 5, but you know, we'll see. But other than that, let's go look at his team. He has Tapu Koko, really fast, base 130. Tapu, yeah, really electric surge, boosted electric type hits, does get access to U-turn, Roost, Brave Bird, all this other type of crap. Could be bulky, could be offensive. All in all, Tapu Koko is just a really threatening Pokemon. And if you look at my team, I have like only 2 immunities, and that's like Palossand and then Manectric before it Mega Evolves. So that's not really the best scenario for me, because I really don't want to rely on one Pokemon to do everything. And honestly, it was hard for me to prep against his team, because the combination of like his next 2 Pokemon, Landers plus Tornadus plus the rest of his walls, make up for a nasty matchup. Landers Darien, base 91 speed, or 92, I may be wrong, I totally forgot, but its attack is sky high, and is also one of his Z users, so I gotta be careful and watch out for that so I don't get swept. And yeah, so pretty much Landorus could be defensive with Stealth Rocks, could be like a double dance set, could just be a Z move with freaking SD, who knows, or it could be just Scarf with Earthquake and U-turn. And then he has Tornado Starion, base 121. Honestly, it's like going around those ranges. I'm really not for sure on these base stats, but really annoying with that Regenerator. Really good pivot Pokemon all around. Pretty diverse Hurricane, Knockoff, U-turn, Heat Wave, Superpower. And then next up he has Heatran, Fire Steel type. Really cool legendary Pokemon in my opinion. I have yet to use Heatran. I need to try it out. But Heatran, Fire Steel type, could be defensive, does get Stealth Rocks as well. So another good one. It also gets Taunt. Could be offensive with like Magma Storm or like Flash Cannon, Iron Head, stuff like that, Earth Power. And then he has Greninja, which isn't Protean, but is rather Torn, because we don't allow that crap here at this league. But other than all, Greninja is still scary nonetheless. So I mean, like, base 1, I know it's faster than Tornadus. Am I right? I don't know. Probably not. But Greninja, I mean, without that Protean, I mean, it still hits pretty dang hard. Put it in that Torn range, and that Surf's going to be doing a hell of a lot of damage. Surf, Scald, U-turn, could run Spikes or T-Spikes, so it could be a Hazard Stacker as well. And then look at these next 2 bubblegum pieces of crap on my screen. We got Cresselia and Chansey. Talk about the most disgusting, one of the most disgusting cores I've ever seen. Oh, what's beneath the Chansey? It's a freaking blue blob called freaking, oh my god, it's a Quagsire. Its shiny is like pink or purple, so it's trying to be one of them. So it's all in all still overall dick. So screw that thing. I'm not even gonna talk about it. Like, I'm not even gonna look at it. And then we got Miencho. Miencho's really fast. I don't know why. Shane, coach of the Greenland Glamio, says it's trash. Is Miencho trash? Like, is it really trash? I mean, it's like a base 108 speed, reckless ability, does get Regenerator, U-turn initiative, a baton pass substitute. I mean, I think it's a good Pokemon. And then he has Mega Scissor, 4 times weak to fire. It is his Mega, but you know, considering his team, like a lot of Pokemon run HP Fire, he has Cresselia, Quagsire, and Chansey to eat up those HP Fires. And any other like Flamethrower or Fire Blast, he has Heatran plus Greninja plus Landorus. So he definitely built like he really drafted a really good team. And then last but not least, he has the Mushroom that for some reason looks like a Pokeball. That also has Regenerator. And if you look at his team, he has 3 Pokemon with Regenerators. So I really hate this man. I think originally he had Alomomola or something and he dropped it for like Cresselia. I may be wrong. But yeah, other than that, you can see our first set. We got Mr. Robertson. Mr. Robertson's here with the Draconium Z, Molt Breaker. We got D-Dance, Earthquake, Outrage, and Swords Dance. 120 attack, a lot of HP investment, 132 speed, Adamant. So we can hit as hard as we can, but still be decently bulky. And honestly, between D-Dance and Swords Dance, it's honestly whatever is the right scenario for me to click either one of those. Like, if Haxorus outspeeds the rest of his team, I can click SD and then nuke something with Z Outrage. Like, I could nuke Cresselia, I could nuke Quagsire, and because I have Mold Breaker, Quagsire is unaware, it doesn't affect it. I bypass it, plus that means Quagsire is gonna die. Chansey is gonna die, and then if I get a D-Dance up, I can outrage the Tornadus, the Landorus. The only problem with the set is that if I lock myself in an outrage and he still has like Tapu Koko around, then I need to get rid of that thing first before I can set up, which is going to be pretty hard, but if I play this right, it won't be that much of an issue, and the possibility of me sweeping after weakening his team is pretty likely if I can get in the right scenario. So next up, we got Panda Express, the Pangoro with the Life Orb, Iron Fist with Drain Punch, Knockoff, Sub, and Grass Knot. Grass Knot is there for the Quagsire, and Life Orb Grass Knot, even though I'm adamant, still does like over half. So if he does bring it in, I can Drain Punch, get a huge amount of damage off, and just knock it out the following turn with Grass Knot. So that's really good there. And then Substitute's just there because like if I have Pangoro on Cresselia or Chansey, and if Cresselia doesn't have Moonblast, I can click Substitute, and honestly, between Fighting and Dark-type moves, it just wrecks Cresselia, and it just wrecks Chansey, so really good damage. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. So if they don't have the proper moves coverage to hit me, and they switch out, I can click Substitute, and then knock off something, so that's really nice. And then Drain Punch is just there. It's nice for the Heatran, for the Mienshao, the Chansey, like I said. And Knockoff is just an overall good move, and then Grass Knot's just there. Specifically just there for the blue dick. Yep. And then next up, we got Sacred the Entei coming back. And I think last time we brought it, it was like a Calm Mind Fire Blast set. So we're bringing a Choice Bandit set, max attack, Adamant, 232 speed, 16 speed. I honestly didn't think I needed to run that much speed, because anything I did outspeed was pretty much a wall and really slow. Like the one thing I could possibly outspeed would be like a max speed Heatran, which is kind of unlikely. But we were running E-Speed, Sacred Fire, Sleep Talk, and Stomping Tantrum. Stomping Tantrum is always obviously there for the Heatran. Sacred Fire just hits really hard against his team. E-Speed is for like late game sweeps, and then Sleep Talk's just there for the Amoonguss. If you click Spore, I can just switch this Entei in. If I go to sleep, I can click Sleep Talk, and then it'll all be a good day. So next up, we got Misael, the Mega Manectric with the Intimidate, and I think Manetric's the only Pokemon I've brought every week so far. I may be wrong. But we got Thunderbolt, Toxic, Volt Switch, HP Ice. HP Ice for stuff like Landorus, which is pretty much only the Landorus. Toxic for the Quagsire, Thunderbolt and Volt Switch. And as for main stabs, and I didn't really need, I mean, I could have brought Flamethrower for Scizor, but I do have Haxorus plus Pangoro and especially Entei, and the chances of him bringing it, I mean, I really don't know whether he'll bring it or not. So, and Thunderbolt still does a lot anyway, so we're running a lot of HP investment, 52 special attack, enough speed to outspeed as fast as Pokemon, which is either the, oh, it's the Tapu Koko, so it's the same thing as the, what was it last week, as the Crobat. Fifth up, we got Amy, Yuka, the Mawile, Leftovers with the Intimidate, running a fast, bulky, 240 HP, 44 defense, 216 speed, Jolly, Knockoff, Pain Split, Taunt, Stealth Rock, so more of a fast, bulky utility mon. So obviously this is my Rocks user. And then we got Knockoff. Knockoff is good for stuff like Chansey, Knockoff is good for Cresselia. And this is basically going to be my pivot against the Cresselia and the Chansey if it ever comes down to it. So this is going to be my main switching. I can click Knockoff or Pain Split. Pain Split is stuff. If I can Pain Split against the Chansey, oof, that's going to be great. And then I can taunt like Cresselia, prevent it from setting up. And I can click Rocks in the meantime, just spam Knockoff, force a switch, or something like that. So I really like this set. And last but not least, we have Punalulu, something like that. I tried to look up like black sandy beaches, and this is like the first one that popped up. So we got the leftovers, Earth Power, Toxic, Shore Up, Energy Ball. Energy Ball is specifically there for the Quasar, and also does pretty good damage to the Greninja as well. Earth Power for main stab, Shore Up for recovery, and Toxic for, you know, just for toxic shenanigans. And I'm running a mixed defensive set because I'm gonna need some switch-ins for Coco, for Heatran, for Landorus, for Tornado Starion, for Mienshao, for Scizor, and, you know, like, it's gonna be a lot of pressure on the Sandcastle, but hopefully he can get the job done, and we're gonna get right into this battle. So I will see you guys in a little bit. Hopefully we can pull up a W and not get on a concerning losing streak. And yeah, I never did say we lost 1-0 last week. Yeah, man, whatever. But other than that, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, we're back with the match, and as you guys can see, we have the match right here against Russell, coach of the New York Blaze Kicks, and as you guys can see, he has brought the Mienshao, Quagsire, Landorus, Starion, Greninja, Chansey, and Tapu Koko. And there's a few threats that he didn't bring, but I honestly don't remember. I don't feel like looking back. But regardless, if you guys watch the team order, you guys definitely know what we're bringing. If you guys didn't, we're bringing a Double Dance Haxorus with the Dragonium Z. We have a substitute Life Orb, Pangoro, Choice Bandit Entei, Bulky Manectric with Toxic and HP Ice, Mawile with Rocks, and then Palossand, which is just there to be bulky. So other than that, we're going to get right into this match, and to kick things off, I'm just going to go ahead and lead with my Manectric, because if he leads with Landorus, then I should be able to live in Earthquake when I make Evolve at -1, because with my investment, a Choice Scarf Earthquake won't be able to Oko me, and I can do a lot of damage to him with HP Ice, and unless he leads with Quagsire or Chansey, then I should be able to either click Toxic or Volt Switch. So I'm just going to leave with my Manectric. I just thought it would be like the best lead overall, so I go at Miazael. He actually uses the Greninja, and I'm gonna go ahead, make a prediction on the first round, predicting either the Quasar, the chance to come out and click Toxic, but he actually stays in and clicks Toxic Spikes, and just because he did that, I'm assuming that he was Choice Scarf, so he wasn't at all scared of my Manectric, because since if it was Focus Sash, then it wouldn't have mattered. And here I make a, I should have known better on this play. I actually click Volt Switch on this play. And he goes into the Quagsire, and it's pretty unfortunate because I could have double Toxic there. I mean, he wouldn't have versus Greninja like that after seeing that. So here I switch on to Palossand because we do have Energy Ball, and he goes to the Infestation, which is pretty interesting play, nice set. And here I'm gonna click Energy Ball, hoping he doesn't suspect I have it, but I do, and he does, and he goes into Chansey, which is the very smart play. And I'm gonna take this opportunity to go on my Mawile. We are immune to the Toxic Spikes, as he does get up his Rock, so we're getting Hazard stacked on Hazard stacked, and on the Quagsire switch, I'm gonna click Stealth Rocks. I'm gonna switch out. I'm not willing to take an Earth Power. I'm gonna go into my Palossand, and he goes for the Thief, which is another interesting play. So I guess I actually don't know why that's there. But here he goes into Chansey as I go for my Shore Up just to get to regain HP. This poison is going to be very annoying for my Palossand to deal with, as it's only like the really own bulky thing I brought this week. He brings in Landorus as I go for Toxic, and keep in mind of this Toxic miss. I went for Toxic on the Landorus switch in, I miss, and that's gonna matter in my opinion. That's gonna matter in the long run, as you guys will see later in the game. So here, not making to take an Earthquake, I'm actually just gonna switch out. He actually doubles out, goes into his Greninja. Actually, no, I take any hit. I just wanted to scout. I'm trying to remember everything what happened. So let's see, he goes for another Toxic Spikes. I actually predicted not to go for Surf for Dark Pulse, and I just go for the Energy Ball. Unfortunately, if it did 1% more, I would have been able to kill it off with the Toxic damage right here. But here, I'm gonna go into my Mawile, and looking at the calcs, I should be able to live a non-boosted Surf or Scald. With my investment, assuming he's max special attack, not modest, or not a special attacking boosting nature. But what I didn't take into consideration is Torrent, and I was so surprised to hear that as he goes for Surf, I just straight dropped because of Torrent. And honestly, if I had taken into consideration that, then my mom probably wouldn't have died. I probably would have gone into like Haxorus, if anything. But here I go to my Palossand. As he goes on the top of Gogo and he clicks Taunt, this is great. I can go for an Earth Power. But he does have the tech, and he does bring the Shucka Berry. So really good prep on his part. But I do get the Spidef drop. And even though he taunted me, there's really no reason for me to switch out. Because as you guys can see, he goes to into Chansey. And Chansey can't really do much to me anyway, other than maybe like Wish Pass. So there's really no reason for me to switch out here. I'm just going to spam Energy Ball until I'm able to click Shore Up again. Maybe get a Spidef drop. I don't know why. But yep, Poison Taunt wears off. I can finally go for a Shore Up. He capitalizes on that. Goes into Mienshao. And I'm going to predict a knockoff here. I'm going to go into my next bulky thing I got, which is the Mega Manectric. Almost max HP with the Intimidate. And he's going to go for the knockoff, fortunately. And here I make a questionable play. He goes into Quagsire. I could have clicked Toxic, but I don't. I actually double out and go to my Palossand. And this is not a favorable matchup. But predicting the Chansey come in, I'm actually going to double out and go into my Pangoro. Predicting the Chansey to come in, but he actually makes a pretty interesting play and goes into the Landorus, so that could have been free Energy Ball damage. I don't want to take an Earthquake or a potential Supersonic Side Strike, as it is a Z-Mon. I don't want my Pangoro to die just yet. So I'm actually going to switch out, but he actually switches out first, and he goes into the Quagsire. And this would have been great, because I have Grass now for this thing. I'm going to go to my Mega Manectric to basically sack it, or scout for the Supersonic Sky Strike. And I'm just going to let my Mega Manectric die and just go for Toxic. And honestly, I'd rather land the Toxic on a Landorus than I did with the Quagsire, because I actually have Energy Ball on Palossand plus Grass Knot on Pangoro. And as you guys will see on this next turn, I am going to go for Knockoff, and it does over 50%. So that plus a Drain Punch would have been able to easily 2KO. He goes for Earthquake. And here, just for whatever, I'm going to click Substitute. He actually switches out, which is great. I guess he was sacking the Coco. But here, I'm going to click Substitute, and I'm aware I'm at 2%, and I have one good hit to get off before I die. And I'm going to make the stupidest play of all time. I was so mad. I thought he was just going to... I literally thought he was just going to lead this Coco to die and just break my sub. But unfortunately, I'm going to click Knockoff. He hard switches out, going to Mienshao. And if I had simply clicked Drain Punch instead, this Mienshao would have been gone. Like, this thing would have been dead, and I wouldn't have to worry about it. Like, this Mienshao would have been gone. And as you guys will see, I'm going to be skipping a few turns because he's going to be clicking Knockoff, and I'm going to be spamming Shore Up until I'm comfortable at the range I'm at. And like I said, if I just simply went for Drain Punch instead of Knockoff, Coco would have died anyway, and this Mienshao would have died on switching. And as you guys will see, I'm just spamming Shore Up as he goes for Knockoff. And eventually, I am going to kill him with an Earth Power as he goes for Knockoff. I'm sitting at about 40%, which is unfortunate. And here is where the Toxic miss is really unfortunate. So here he brings in a Landorus. He did bring it in on one turn, and like on switching, so that's Rocks plus 6%. So that's 6% that I could have gone on this thing. And here's another thing. I'm just going to go for an Energy Ball, and he's going to go for an SD. And I was freaking out, but at the same time I wasn't, because with this Energy Ball, it puts it in range of a banded E-Speed from my Entei. So at the moment, I'm not really that worried. I'm like, okay, maybe he's SD plus Rock Polish. And I was keeping in mind of Double Dance, but at the same time, like I said, E-Speed has priority, and I do kill this thing. So not really thinking of anything else. I'm gonna go for another Energy Ball. And here, he does go for the Rock Polish. Like I said, I'm not too worried. I go for Energy Ball, and unfortunately, he has the Berry. And let's see, he was at 16%, as you guys saw. And yeah, let's just go back a bit. So let's see, 6%. Let's see, he was at 16%. Toxic damage would have racked up. He would have taken 12% the next turn, because he went for Swords Dance, so it would have been 6%, and then Rock Polish, which was 12%. So he definitely would have been dead this turn. And as you guys see, the berry does pop. He has the Aguav berry, and he is 6% out of range from me potentially killing him with Banded E-Speed Entei. And unfortunately for me, you got to take into consideration as well that the turn it takes for him to kill me, which is this turn, he would have taken 18%, and it would have put it in range. Even though 66 minus 18, that's like 48, right? So I would have been able to kill this thing, and that's why the Toxic miss on switching was pretty huge, because if I had gotten the Toxic off, then he wouldn't have been able to set up freely like this, and he wouldn't have been, even if he did get his berry up, like maybe sooner than later, he probably wouldn't have had the Rock Polish boost, and he definitely would have been in range of my Banded E-Speed. And unless I get a crit here, I'm not going to be able to OHKO this thing. I'm going to pray and hope. I'm going to go for E-Speed. Unfortunately, we don't take it out. That's 17%. Entei dies. And Haxorus doesn't have any form of recovery. Mr. Roberts is going to come in and die. And that is going to be GG to Russell, coach of the New York Blaze Kicks. GG, man. He was 3-2, and now he's 4-2. We now have the same record. I think I still have a higher differential. But regardless of that, we do lose 4-0. And my plan was, if I got into Toxic off, assuming the same situation had occurred, then Palossand would have eventually died, and then Landorus probably would have died too. And then my way to win that after that would have probably been to like set up with Haxorus against something like, if I set up Haxorus on Quagsire, I probably just won, because Quagsire was really low. Alright, so let's think about this. Assuming Landorus went down, I could have brought in my Haxorus, or my Entei at the least. I could have brought in my Entei and just spam Sacred Fire, because Quagsire is at a very low amount of HP. Chance he can't take 2. I think it's a roll to kill, but he has Rock Sub, so it definitely would have been a 2-hit KO. And Coco can't OHKO me. unless he was like Specs. So depending on what he brought in, NPA probably would have killed at least one thing. I could have brought in Haxorus, clicked D-Dance, and I probably would have just won right there because I could have Draconium Z'd the Chansey, I could have Earthquake the Coco, and I could have Earthquake the Quagsire. I'm not saying I would have won this game if I had landed the Toxic, but just saying that if I had landed the Toxic, then it wouldn't have gone the way it ended, more than likely. So really unfortunate there. It's the game we play. It's Pokemon, so it's whatever. I mean, 90% chance to miss, and it's like, you can't do anything about it. But either way, Russell played really great. He made some really good predictions that really threw me off. And in the end, I just got to work on my prediction game. So other than that, we are in a two-game losing streak. Not really the position I want to be in. And to make matters worse, next week we're going up against Evan, coach of the Brighton Bronzors, which they won their Week 6 game, and they won their Week 5 game last week when we versed Magma. So that makes them 6-0, and they're the only team that's undefeated so far. So hopefully we can give them their first L and also not go on a 3-game losing streak, because if we go on a 3-game losing streak, the best I can do is 6-3, and if I lose another game after that, I'll be 5-4, and my chances of getting to playoffs are pretty much nullified, and pretty slim from there on now. So hopefully we can pick up W, and we're pretty much in a crucial spot. We went from like in a good position to 4-0 to being in a really crucial game. So like, to me, despite the 4-0, to me I think it was pretty close in my opinion, considering the Haxorus that I brought, and I still had like a Bandit Entei. But regardless of that, like I said, I've been rambling about it a while. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. This was GlitchXCity here, and I'll see you guys in the next encounter.